What does progesterone and testosterone do for us? It makes clear thought. It improves digestion, builds muscle, protects brain tissue, makes you mentally clear, decreases the ability to have dementia and those types of problems in the future. But dementia is a twofold problem, and so is diabetes. Why does diabetes happen? Because we've depleted our insulin reserves. We've tanked our pancreas over and over and over. A child at the age of 8 today has had more sugar in their diet than somebody 100 years ago had in their entire lifetime. They are destroying their pancreas at an incredible rate. So by the time they're 8 or 9, they've spent all of their pancreas money. And now you have to basically tell them you can't do any carbs from here on out. Are they going to do that? No. It's the way it is. And so here we have a generation that's going to come behind us that's going to be mostly diabetic. That's why diabetes is really the most prominent disease now that faces us. And you mark my words, in 15 years, type 3 diabetes will have come out, and it will take the place of Alzheimer's. Because Alzheimer's is type 3 diabetes. You'll see it more and more. So what will you do now that you know the whys? But here's the other kicker. Every time you eat carbs, you have to take in, or you have to eat, more trace minerals, more calcium, more magnesium, more B vitamins. What do the B vitamins do for us? Why do people take them? Energy. Here once again, not only are we robbing our hormones, but now we're robbing B vitamins, which also give us energy. Vegemite, yes. So trace minerals and calcium, when we start stripping them out of the system, guess what happens when we strip calcium continuously away from our body? What do we call that? Osteoporosis. Do we wonder why it's so rampant? Gosh, I can't get bone density back in my, bone density back in my bones. Well, it makes sense. You continually eat carbs, which destabilizes blood sugar, which calcium and magnesium are trying to help with. This also leads to gut problems and acid problems, so now we have constipation, we have diarrhea, we have acid reflux, we have all kinds of things. Isn't it interesting how a lot of our problems right now all stem from one thing and one thing only? That's why I say you do this one thing, and you will change everything in your life. I cannot tell you how many clients I've had come in when they finally realize that they need to do low carb, and they do it. And I tell them, just give me 1 week. 1 week, no carb. It's hard. Build up to it. But when you do that 1 week, you'll walk away with 5 pounds less. Most people more than that. And if they can do it 2 weeks, 10 pounds. And I say, now add carbs back, and you'll know it's too much. But we go for 20 per meal, 20 grams. That one apple, 15, is a lot. If anybody wants what I've just talked about, I have it on 2 pages, bullet form. Text Brian or email him, and we'll get it to you. Questions? I know that was a lot. That was like drinking from a fire hose. Any questions? Yes?
You said 20 grams per meal or per day?
20 grams per meal. Atkins was 20 grams per day. You can do that, but it's not necessary. And Atkins was very much big on protein, and I am not. 4 ounces of protein a day, which, trying to do is not necessarily the easiest thing. 1 egg, 4 ounces.
All day? That's what you recommend?
Yeah, that's the goal, at least to get to that. But an egg, an egg has, if 1 ounce is 28 grams, an egg has 20 grams of protein. You look at a 4 ounce steak, that's not 4 ounces of protein. There's fat and water and other things in there. It's only like maybe 40 grams. I don't want you to overdo protein either. I don't want you to go out and get a 20 ounce steak. That's not the goal. That's not good.
Sounds good. Who's bought into
Per meal, probably about 1.5 ounces, per meal. That's enough. We know that when we bump up into large amounts of protein, like people that are only meat and potatoes, will watch heart disease. But I have a suspicion that's also because of the potatoes, the starch that they're overdoing as well. So there's things that way that are happening.
Another question, supplements.
Yeah.
I know it's a long thing.
It is. I'll be brief. So if I do supplements with somebody, it's trace minerals. That's what I'm going to do. If they still have energy issues after that week and a half of no carbs, if they don't feel like their energy's coming up, great, let's add a B supplement for a short period of time and see what we do. And we'll have things begin to raise up. And then it's fats. I really want you to focus on fats. Since the 50s, I mean, we've seen reports that 80% fat in your diet. I mean, think about that, 80%. Try to eat 4 or 5 ounces of fat. You can't do it. Your body just says no. So you tend to have a lower appetite and things like that because you're eating things that are better. They're higher nutrient value. Your body says that's enough. It knows when enough is enough. Other questions?
Fantastic.
Awesome.